I'm bored and it's the weekend, so let's talk my biggest red flags when it comes to Miss Kimberly Kardashian. Right off the bat and starting strong, we have her really consistently inconsistent image. Like, this girl's always changing. And when it comes to image, the two especially big red flags are number one, how she changes based on the partners that she's with. Say what? Oh, he dyed his hair blonde, so she had to dye her. Okay, I got it. Relaxed or seeking approval? I don't know. The blackfishing as well is just as big of a red flag as changing her image based on who she's with. You know, when she was going through her Kimberly Minaj stage. Anyway, the changing images, it feels a bit, it smacks a bit of, I don't know who I am. And I would like someone to please tell me I'm going to keep shifting my identities until I get the most desired effect from the public or someone who I want to love or, whatever. So changing images, yeah, it's not like Lady Gaga being an artist and experimenting. It's like, it feels manipulative. Now, the blackfishing in general is a whole nother, you could have a whole separate red flag on this because it's just extremely toxic and damaging, and you don't need to hear it from me. There are tons of black creators on this app who have talked it to death, and you can go and listen to them. But yeah, the blackfishing, yeah, no, that's my second big red flag for her. Now, the third one actually comes down to her manipulative and kind of immature behavior. Now, a big one for me was like seeing her let Pete get involved with Kanye and the divorce and the kids and all this kind of stuff. Like, Pete never should have felt comfortable communicating with Kanye. Like, he should have been like, yeah, this is a nightmare and a mess. I'm not going to do this. And the fact that he did it, red flag. And I can't help but see, Kimberly not setting appropriate boundaries on the other side of that. And the reason that I kind of see her being manipulative behind Pete Davidson engaging in that was because we've seen her be super toxic and manipulative to her family before, right? Like, we saw her admit very proudly, bragging about it on her show about having a group chat about her sister where they talk bad about her sister with her sister's friends. Like, holy, oh my God. And we've also seen her triangulate or attempt to triangulate Kourtney's kids against her. We saw her sit in a room in her house and tell Kourtney's eldest son how terrible his mother was and how toxic she was, which is triangulation, right? Which is super, 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 super manipulative. So we've seen Kim be willing to be a manipulative person. And for me, crazy red flag. Now, before we get into this final kind of bout of red flags, the biggest red flag for me personally when it comes to Kim Kardashian, I want to give you a little breakdown and a definition of the words that I'm about to use so that you understand what I mean and we can be on the same page. I'm going to be talking about some right-wing red flags for me. And when I say that, what I mean is someone who supports or funds right-wing groups, ideologies, and politicians, either publicly, like on social media, financially, like donations, or a combination of the two. And these create and or pass legislation that threatens the rights and well-being of minority peoples, the working class, women, and LGBTQ peoples. Okay? This is what I'm talking about when I say right-wing. This includes supporting anti-reproductive freedoms, and the funding of state and national candidates like Donald Trump. Okay? So when I use the term right-wing moving forward from this moment, this is what I'm talking about. You can come back if you're confused. All that being said, we have arrived at my last big red flag for Kim Kardashian, and it's that I think she is an undercover, not so undercover right-winger. And here are my reasons for that. You can like it or not like it. I don't really care. Number one, her relationship with Ivanka Trump, which, like, there's no denying this is a friendship. Like, I think their kids went to a Halloween party together, and there's literally an endless sea of photos of them together and articles about them together, like, for years, despite what her father did and is still trying to do. And despite her involvement, Ivanka's involvement in his campaigns, in his fraud in New York City, all of that stuff. Like, they're besties. So that for me is kind of the first piece of the puzzle in this, I suspect that she's right wing. Okay. That's the first piece. Ivanka, hold on to that because we're going to get there. Now, the second sign for me, and this is what kind of pushes me. This may not be right wing, but I definitely think that she is super, super, super conservative. Way more conservative than what she has sold to women. Miss Kimberly likes to wear a cross a lot. Like a lot. She's got a whole collection of different crosses that she likes to wear with different looks, and they go all the way from like extravagant to little simple ones, which we've just seen in a recent picture with her grandmother. She even bought one of Princess Diana's crosses. So she likes to take fashion from better women and destroy it and cheapen it, obviously. But then you look at these comments that she made as well, which is the third part of the puzzle, right? So we've got Ivanka, we've got crosses, and now we've got this kind of thought from her, this whole,
I would never get tattooed. Why would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley?
It seems subtle. It seems nonchalant. She definitely thought she was clever in this moment, even though someone obviously wrote that line for her. But what it really kind of hints at is purity culture. The idea that a woman's worth is based on the purity of her body and the cleanliness of it when she presents it to her husband. You know, meat market stuff. That's definitely not the sign of any kind of liberal thinking. I don't care what she's gotten on her inside lip now. A liberal person, a truly liberal person, would never say that about a woman, because they wouldn't want any women watching who do have tattoos to think less of themselves. And it's clear that Kimberly, when she made this statement, and she's made statements like this since, thinks that women without tattoos are superior to those with tattoos. So she's got a hierarchy in her mind. And again, purity culture, it's a whole red flag by itself. And last but not least, her family owning a literal church, which, ooh, has some shady stuff going on here, don't we? Like the super dodgy people who run it. Uh-oh. And we know from watching Kim for years on reality television that her apple doesn't fall far from the Kris Jenner tree. And she is a member of her mother's church. Her mother, who describes herself as a lover of Christ, and her sisters, who have been to the Hillsong Church. Everyone has their opinions, and they are absolutely right to have their opinions. But for me, personally, if I was interviewing someone to be my friend or in my friend group, I wouldn't want someone with that many red flags of right-wing conservatism around them, because I just don't want that kind of nastiness around me. And I certainly would not want to play the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with someone related to Donald Trump. Disgusting. Anyway, to me, it's drops of water that add up to a full glass, and I don't like the smell of it. Just like I've never liked the pile of red flags that I've seen hovering above Miss Kim Kardashian. What do you think? Let me know in the comments and follow for more.